Hey, good evening, friends. Dennis LaRue here, your executive and life coach with LDR. Leaders develop relationships. And the number one relationship you develop is with yourself first. And this is Sunday night. This is the hashtag steeltoesrequired quote of the week. And this is episode number 99. 99, that's right. Do these weekly. So this is number 99. Hey, Diane. Great chatting with you earlier today. And quick shout out. Today's quote was inspired by my friend Melanie Ake. So giving you a shout out right now, Melanie, for encouraging me with tonight, the idea for tonight's quote. Julia, how are you, my friend? Hi, Janet. Glad you're all jumping in. And you know, I'm really excited about this thought tonight because it's something that I personally get my toes stepped on quite frequently over the years in my walk. And it's all about your gifting. Not just your gift, but there are those times and those seasons where your gift, you get kind of beat up. You know, here we are. We're coming into the fall. It's September. And, you know, as we're winding into holiday season and everything else, sometimes we go through this lull and maybe we're not on path to reach our goals the way we want to. Maybe, you know, we've gone through some things and there's that tendency of wondering, you know, am I making a difference? What am I doing making an impact? And we can find ourselves going down that spiral. And tonight's quote is a reminder for each one of us to do this very thing. So here's the quote. The quote comes from the Bible. It's coming from the Apostle Paul, and it's a letter that he wrote to his mentee, the person he was mentoring, the person that was going to take up the charge for him when he was in prison. He was in prison for the second time and the last time. He wasn't getting out of prison. The only way he was coming out of prison was dead. And he wrote some letters to his young mentee, Timothy, encouraging him and giving him some great wisdom and advice, knowing that this was his last. You know, here it is. You picture yourself knowing that this is your last day, your last time, your last moment. You know that this is it. What are you writing to? What are you saying or writing to those to carry on what's next? Well, here's one thing that Paul said to Timothy. He said this. He said, stir up the gift of God within you. Stir up the gift of God within you. It's in for those of you that want the Bible reference, it's in the book of 2 Timothy in the New Testament, chapter 1, verse 6. Stir up the gift of God. Hey, Marcia, how are you? Stir up the gift of God within you. And the reason that this came to mind is, think of this, you know, you're building a fire. You're building a fire. You put all the material together. You light the match. The fluid, all the things you do to get that fire going, and it is whoosh. It is a big roaring fire. But if you don't put anything else in that fire, eventually that fire starts to wane. It starts to go down. It starts to die. And when you look at it from appearances, it looks dead. It might be smoldering a little bit hours later. But if you poke around the ashes, you'll start seeing that orangey glow. You'll see that orange glow. And that tells you that there's still a little bit of fire there. And what do? Melanie was telling me about this. You know, she tells me she loves lighting fires, and so she'll go and put more sticks and more wood. She's had some trees fall, and she'll put more wood on that fire. And what happens? Those red embers that are hot catch fire again, and poof, the fire starts again. So it is with each one of us. Now, the fire is our gift. Stir up the gift within you. What is your gift? What are you gifted at? And I'm not just talking about spiritual gifts. For those of you, you know, that are of faith, you know that there are spiritual gift inventories like crazy online. You can sit down and go through lists of them. But it's not just knowing what your gift is. It's actually taking action on that gift. Your gift spiritual or not, was given to you not just for you to stand out. It was for you to give out. It's a gift meant to be given and shared with others. And so often when we give out that gift, there are times, we give the gift, we share what we do, what we love, who we are. And there are times, you just get tired. It's that whole idea of pouring into you, adding wood to your fire. How do you do that? When you get in those moments, and I'd love to hear what you do. So in the comments, how do you stir up your gift? How do you stir up your gift? Here's some things that I do to help me stir up my gift. I was writing these out. At first, you need a spark. As I was writing this up, I can't resist an 80s reference for a moment. Bruce Springsteen. You can't start a fire without a spark. You can't start a fire without a spark. So what's the spark? What's the spark to spark your gift? And for me, as I was thinking about this, the very first thing that came to my mind was the encouraging words of others. You know about your gift, you're supposed to use it, and you share it out, but it's those encouraging words of others. It might even be the person you're sharing your gift with, and they share with you how that impacted them, how it made a difference in their life, how it helped them through a tough time. And they may not even say it at the time, they may share it with you later. For those of you in business, it could simply be a testimonial from somebody. It could be as you're scrolling through, looking through your comments on your services or the things that you do, reading some of those that stand out to you, that personally just touch your heart. Jose, what's going on, my friend? Encouraging words from others, knowing that your gift is making a difference. That's one way to stir up the gift. Another way for me is my journal. I got lots of these journals. And in my journal specifically, I actually highlight in my journal where people have said things to me, kind of like a Paul to a Timothy, people that I consider Pauls in my life, mentors, those that have spoken life into me. There are certain words that they've said that I read over and over again. Here's a stack of them right here that I go through repeatedly, usually daily, that I like to go through. I've got others in my journal that are highlighted, special words written to me from folks that I go through to stir that fire, to remind myself this is what I was born to do, this is what I was designed to do. And also answering this question is helpful too. Why you are doing it. Why was the gift given to you and why are you doing it? Why are you doing that thing that you're doing? And when you're doing it, how does it make you feel? Hey, Nellie, when you're doing that thing, that if you're looking for that gift that you have, what is it that you do that when you do it, it fires you up? You're in your sweet spot. You're in your second wind. You get the runner's high. Fill in the blank. You're pumped. You're motivated. It kind of like, for me, a friend of mine, I was going back and forth with the Rollins clan a little bit about the Longhorns and LSU game. And yeah, it didn't work out well for me last night. But watching that game and following that game, at the end of that game, you're so fired up and so energetic, you can't sleep. Now, take that over to your gift. What is that with you? That gift, when you're doing it, you can't sleep. You're so turbocharged, fired up, enthusiastic, on fire, passionate, that you just can't stop. You can't quit. And you love doing it. What is that? I love that, Diane. Reflect on my successes as much as my challenges. Absolutely. Yes, one of the things that stirs up the gift is the success of using that gift. Absolutely. Going over the wins and even the challenges of that gift. When you are challenged, what was the challenge? What's the lesson learned? How could you improve that gift? Because you've been given a gift, but it's also your responsibility to master that gift, to turn that gift from talent to art. And the more you use it, and the more you develop it, the more you grow it, the more you study it, the more you apply it and learn and do and adjust, you start finding the nuances in between it, and you find the art of your gift. To be an artist. You know, another way that I stir up the gift within me is guarding my self-talk. Now, I'll confess right now, this is tough. This is a tough one for me. My self-talk, because it's also staying in your head. Hey, Sylvia. When you stay in your head too long, you start listening to the self-talk inside your head, and you're not talking to yourself. And when you start following that negative talk, it's chocolate-covered poison. Because it doesn't just come out and say this. I mean, I don't know about you, but your self-talk just doesn't come out and say, you know what, Dennis, you suck. You're a terrible coach. You've messed up. My self-talk, it doesn't expose itself that way. It will come out and say, you know, you didn't quite do as well here. And, you know, you didn't do quite as well there. And, you know, if you keep going this route, and it'll be subtle. It's subtle, subtle, subtle. Think of the subtleties that your mind and self-talk have on you. And you'll start following the logic of your mind, so to speak. You'll start following the sequence that it's leading you down. And it's leading you down the wrong path. And so you got to guard it with your self-talk, because you've been given a gift. And that's where the journal entries for me, that's where the cards that I read, that's where, you know, books that inspire me that I go to over and over again. And those are those moments that I go back to, and then I guard my self-talk and have to remind myself, no, this is what I was called to do. This is what I was made to do. Yes, it's going to be uphill at times, but you know what? There are some times when you get to the top of the hill, you get to enjoy the ride downhill. As a runner, running downhill is a whole lot more fun than running uphill. But the challenges of uphill help make the downhill that much better. Guard your self-talk. The gift. Another key component to stirring up the gift within you is having a wingman. Having a wingman. Having an inner circle of people who know you well, know your gifts well, that you can reach out to at a moment's notice to be that encouragement for you when you can't seem to, when you're encouraging yourself just isn't there. You need them to stir up the gifts a little bit within you, to remind you of some things. Those things happen. That's why we need each other. There are days that, for whatever reason, we can't pick our heads up. There are some of us that way. There are some of us that have been through some things that when that trigger hits, you struggle. I get it. I've been there. I've been there many times. And what always helps is that person that you know and you trust and you value, like a Timothy, like a Paul, that you can go to and say, wingman, I need a call. I need to talk to you. I'm having some trouble. Need your guidance. Need you to listen. And they're there. And after those calls, after that time with your inner circle, guess what happens? The flames are on again. The flames are on again. Sometimes, do I get beat up by my wingman? Absolutely. And it's always in love. That's the key. That's the key component to your inner circle and the key component to your wingman, to stirring up the gift. Because when they do have to administer some tough love, it's always because of love first. They love you and they care about you. Hey, Debbie, I see you out there. And so that's what you need. So here it is. Sylvia, I think I need a flame of fire. All right, let's do it. Let's do it, Sylvia. How can I serve you? How can we serve you? You got to have a wingman. You got to get fired up. Who throws gas on your flame? What books throw gas on your flame? What people throw gas on your flame? What actions do you take in your gifting that that burn that flame brighter? Whatever that is, get in it. Now, and answer these questions. Sometimes you don't know why you've been given the gift you've been given. You just have to accept it. It's a gift. You have this gift. If you're not sure what it is, answer this question. What do people always compliment you on when they see you do it and they wonder, wow, you do it, you make it look easy, and they wish they had what you had. That's important. That's going to give you an indication of what it is you're doing, that you're gifted. And another thing that will indicate it is every time you do it, you're amazed at when people make a comment or compliment you about it, because it's just who you are. It's who you are, it's what you do, it's what you always do, and it's no different than you brushing your teeth or getting out of bed or putting on your shoes or walking or whatever. It's just normal. It's who you are, it's your DNA. But when everybody else sees it, they always compliment you on it. They always point it out. That's an indication of a gifting that's been given to you. And then, who benefits from your gift? When you're using that gift, who are you benefiting? Because again, remember, the gift isn't given for you to hold on to. It's given to you to give to others and to share to others, to shine before others. To shine, since it stir up the gift of God within you, it's God's gift to you, and it's a gift to share with them, to show them Him. That's it. Thank you, Sylvia. I see this here. I'm reading this. Oh, I missed it. Excuse me. There we go. Excellent. I love this, Sylvia. And Susan, thank you for being here. So, again, if using this gift creates the fire, and what fired me the most is to learn about someone's big one. Ooh, Sylvia, you're an encourager and you love to celebrate with others. That's wonderful. I love that. Encouraging others, celebrating wins, being alongside and celebrating. Man, you always celebrate the wins, and it's always fun to celebrate with somebody, and it's especially fun to celebrate with those you're mentoring, those you're pouring into. When they're winning, there is nothing better as a coach to see your team perform and win. There's nothing like it. When they excel, when they succeed, when they do new things, when they have personal records, or they accomplish that task that they thought that they couldn't do. There's nothing more exciting than those moments. Those are precious, and those are special moments. And so, bringing this all in now, how frequently are you sharing that gift? I'm thinking of the 80-20 rule. This is just a general thought that popped into my mind. There is no science here based on this. I can't give you stats or any of those things. This is just a quick thought that ran through my mind. I thought I'd share it. To keep that fire burning, what is that thing that you do, and are you doing it 80% of the time throughout the day or throughout the week? To share that fire, to share that gift with others. It may be a talent or skill set at work. It could be something more on the emotional intelligence side. Behind me, you see the books, the 2.0s behind me, Developing the Leader Within You 2.0. Great way to develop if you are a gifted leader, if that's the gift you've been given. Now it's something you can also develop. Developing Leader Within You 2.0. You got Strengths Finder 2.0. If you're trying to figure out what are my strengths so I can get in a niche, that's a great assessment tool as well. Take that assessment. Or maybe you're a little bit more people-focused, self-focused, people-focused. Emotional intelligence is a great 2.0 is a resource also to help develop you and to use as a tool to develop others. Those are just a couple of resources to be helpful. And of course, being a person of faith, I always go back to the Bible, always a resource that helps me to grow, helps me to be aligned, and it helps put fire on the flame like this one, stirring up the gift within me, to stir up the gift within you so you can stir up the gift within others, and we can keep this perpetual fire and gifting going day in and day out, and create that butterfly effect that is transforming individuals, transforming cultures, transforming nations globally. And that's why we do what we do. That's why I'm here stepping on my toes and yours too, so that we can get comfortable being uncomfortable, getting and growing into the best version of ourselves to transform ourselves and lives and businesses all over with a message of hope, because we've been given a gift. And the last thing that we need to have written about us is that we let the gift We wasted the gift. We didn't use the gift. We held on to the gift and kept it wrapped in a package under the tree at Christmas. And we looked at it every year, but we never ever opened the gift and we never used it. Let that never be said of you. Let that never be said of us. That we exhausted ourselves using our gift, because moments like this, stirring up the gift of God within us, as 2 Timothy 1:6 says, that in those moments when we're down, we have those means and resources to stir it up, because the enemy wants nothing more than to put out your flame or to keep you from the resources to keep that flame burning. And my friends, that is your hashtag Steel Toes Required quote of the week, episode number 99. Now next week is a special Sunday evening edition because two special things happen. Number one, it's episode 100. Number two, it's my birthday. So we're going to be doing Steel Toes on my birthday, number 100, perfect together, and looking forward to spend time with you. And as we bring this session to a close, remember, your gift isn't for you. It is for you to give to others. And so we close with the blessing. I pray the blessing of bread that you know no hunger. I pray the blessing of salt, that your life would be filled with flavor and that you would be pouring salt and being flavorful in other people's lives. Again, stirring up the gift of God within you, stirring up the gift within them. And that the gift, that the blessing of wine, that joy and prosperity would be yours this day and forevermore. And may the love of God be your portion this day and forevermore. Friends, thank you so much for joining me tonight on the hashtag Steel Toes Required quote of the week. Have an amazing and great week. Thank you for all the comments, the likes, the shares. I appreciate that so much. Blessings to you. Now go out there and make it a great week. And let me know in the comments if you need a wingman and you need your gift stirred up. Let me know. Send me a private message. Just say, Dennis, I need a call. And we'll set up a call. And we're here to motivate, inspire, here to stir up that gift within you, because when you're using your gift, the world is a better place. You're making a difference. So blessings to you all. Have a great week, and we'll see you throughout the week with LaRue on the Street and next Sunday for our special 100th edition of the hashtag Steel Toes Required quote of the week. All right, friends, take care. Bye for now.